Hola amigos, ¿cómo estás? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Mexican senior national team. Obviously they played Canada in the semi-finals of the Gold Cup. Obviously US men's national team having only just beaten Qatar in the other semi-finals. So we knew going into this game that we were going to have to face US men's national team, which I think is a tie that I think every Mexican fan wants. Especially given, US fans, some US fans on Twitter lately just being really obnoxious and arrogant for no reason whatsoever. Well, they got the Nations League win, but apparently that's a massive trophy for them. So, anyway, so going into the game, I don't want to rant about US men's national team fans. Yes, going into the game, we always knew it was going to be tough. Canada, while not being as good as Mexico, we have to say that outright. Mexico definitely has a stronger squad. But Canada has a lot of upcoming players. A lot of players that probably will be a lot better in the next few years. And we always knew it was going to be a tough game. Obviously, they're keen to get into the final. I think a Canada-US final would have been a decent final as well. But yeah, so we knew it was going to be a tough game. Before going into the game itself, I just want to acknowledge the fact that everyone knows by now that Jonathan Dos Santos' father passed away. And apparently he found out just probably about a couple of hours before the kickoff, which must have been like really devastating for him. Obviously, I would have totally understood him not playing this game. I think everyone would. I can't imagine losing a parent. Unfortunately, I haven't had to go through that. So I can't imagine how he must have felt, and to play, a pretty high stakes semi final. I mean, it's a Gold Cup, and everyone, is derogative towards it, but it's still a decent cup, and it's bragging rights over the US men's national team as well. So there's a lot of pressure going into this game, and obviously to take that on board himself, and obviously still commit to playing the game. He started the game, he played most of the game. He did eventually get subbed off by with Booty, but yeah, really, really terrible, really devastating. Can't imagine how he feels, like I said, and mixed with the pressure of the game. He's say what you want about Jonathan Dos Santos, but he has a lot of strength of character to be able to do that. So massive kudos to him. I think he had a decent game. Obviously not his best, but obviously with the circumstances, it's totally understandable. The whole team really didn't have an amazing game, to be fair. But he did well considering what he must be thinking about and feeling. So massive props to him. So going into the game, Mexico started strong. I think the whole first half Mexico dominated really. We got a penalty in the middle of the first half, and Aubrey managed to put it away. I mean, rival fans are going to say what they say, but that was a definite penalty. VAR used well twice in this game. Obviously, Mexico ends up getting another penalty as well. I'll go into that in a minute. But yeah, going into being 1-0 up, it was a massive step for Mexico. I think Mexico struggled to come back when they go a goal down. So yeah, being 1-0 up, that was a massive goal. Really good, really happy for Oblin. I think he had played all right. I think he's had a decent few games since coming on for Chucky when Chucky got injured. So yeah, going 1 up, and then in the second half give a sloppy goal away. I mean, I say sloppy in the sense that I think it was Buchanan. I can't remember the Canadian player's name, but just walked in on the left hand side. Just walked in, and then beat the keeper. I think at the near post as well, which was a bit disappointing. Just a sloppy goal to concede really, and it's 1-1 again, and thinking, oh no, here we go. It's going to be another sketchy end of the game, and obviously that's what it turned out. 1-1. Apparently the chant was heard again. Obviously, if Mexico winning, then you're probably not going to hear the chant at all. But if they're struggling, if the fans start feeling like they're not playing as good as they should be, that you're probably going to hear it at some point. And they heard it, and they paused the game for about 5 minutes, which extended the game. Mixed with the penalty decision, it was well into I think it was 110 minutes altogether. give or take. Yeah, so obviously right at the end of the game, who else but the captain, Hector Herrera, comes up and scores a really good goal. It was a really good goal. From I think it was just outside the box. Just slots it straight into the corner. Keeper had no chance. Wonderful goal. And I think it was deserved. I think Mexico deserved to go through to the final. I think overall Mexico were the better team. Canada had a good spell just after they scored, where for about 10-15 minutes after they scored, they controlled the game. They just couldn't put it away a second time. But I think all in all, I think in the balance of play, I think Mexico deserved to win. It was just a bit sketchy right at the end as well. Kudos to Hachacho, going over to Jonathan Santos and celebrating with him, and all the players rallied around him. It was really good to see because Santos had actually been subbed off by that point, so it was really good to see. I like that celebration. It was really heartfelt and wonderful, to be honest. So yeah, Mexico are in the final against the US men's national team. Can't wait for it. It's going to be probably an exciting game. US men's national team haven't done that well in the Gold Cup. Like I said, they struggled against Qatar. They struggled against most of the teams that they've played, so they are gettable. They're not as good as some of their fans think they are. And I think Mexico has a strong chance, even without Raul Jimenez, even without Chico Lozano, even without Ochoa, and all the players that are in the Olympics at the moment. They're doing really well, and they've done really well to get to this point. And it is a winnable game, but having said that, it's a final. Form kind of goes out the window in a final. It's a one-off game. We've recently lost against them as well. Obviously, in the Nations League, although the Nations League, you can argue is not as important as Gold Cup. Maybe the players didn't take it seriously enough, but they should be well up for this game on Sunday. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Really pumped. Mexico is where Mexico should be. They should be in the final. They should be winning it, in my opinion. Funes Mori needs to step up a bit more. He was not really impactful in this game. He had a really good chance that he should have started away in the second half. He didn't. He needs to step it up a bit. Unfortunately, through no fault of his own, all the pressure's on him. He's the striker. He's the guy that Tata said, look, you're replacing Raul Jimenez. Go out there and score. And he needs to do it. He scored a few goals in this tournament, granted, but he needs to step it up. And I think he should have scored in this game, to be honest. I mean, he definitely needs to step it up for the next game. What else? Talavera, I think, had a good game. A couple of shaky moments, but overall, I think he had a good game. The defenders as well had a really good game-ish. Well, apart from the goal, they had a really good game. And midfield as well, Alvarez wasn't wasn't his usual self. He had a really good spell where he dribbled the ball basically most of the length of the pitch and got fouled. So so the midfield wasn't that great. Like I said, Santos had a bit of a iffy game, but that's obviously to be expected. Guti came on, didn't really do much. Herrera probably was the best player on the pitch for me. Just controlling the game, really good passes, and obviously got the winning goal. So Tecatito as well. I think he drew the foul for the first penalty, and Pizarro came on for Berlin and didn't really do anything, unfortunately. So there's a lots of room for improvement. Hopefully, players that haven't stepped up yet will step up for next game. The last thing I want to say is the only real negative of the game, which was, apart from the chant, obviously, but I don't want to give too much attention to that, was the Salcedo taking the second penalty. I mean, that was just so bizarre to me. I'm thinking, cool, obviously I'm taking it again because, he took one already, he scored one already, he's going to be pumped for it. And Salcedo, of all people, like a centre-back taking a penalty is not a good sign. Unless they've taken a lot of penalties and they're an acknowledged good penalty taker. And he's not. I mean, I think he's scored one goal for El Tri, and I don't think he's taken any penalties for them before. So, very, very bizarre. He didn't look confident, so I don't know whether he nominated himself for it or whether he was just chosen to do it, but he didn't look confident. I mean, in the middle of me trying to work out what's going on. Why is our centre back taking a free penalty? And he's setting the ball up. I'm thinking that he's not going to score this because he doesn't look confident. He didn't look confident at all. And his run up was one of those annoying, like, hoppy, I don't know what they're called, but it's like kind of like the pause and then the shot. And mate, I've seen loads of them lately, especially the England squad, and they don't work. Just run up, take the ball, kick the ball, and, you know, whatever happens. But yeah, no, I mean, I think everyone knows or knew that he was not going to score this penalty. And, yeah, very bizarre. I don't really know. I would love for Tata to explain that. I don't know whether he explained it after the game, but yeah, I want to know what was going on with that because it was just weird. I think anybody else, any of the midfielders, any of the attacking players should have taken it before him, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, they got the win in the end, but, if he had scored that, or if somebody else had taken it and scored it, it would have been a lot more different game towards the end. But anyway, let me know what you thought of the game. Do you think it was a bit of a scrappy thing like I do? It was a good game though. I just think it was a bit scrappy, especially at the end. What do you think about Santos? Obviously him playing, having received the worst news possible. What do you think about the US men's national team? Do you think they're going to be as tough as we might think they are, or do you think it's a very winnable game? Let me know in the comments. I always reply to all the comments, so please like and subscribe to my channel. I know that some of you watch that are not subscribed. I know that some of you watch that are not subscribed. So subscribing really does help. Obviously it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. And then, there's an audience that are willing to listen to me talk about football for 10 or so minutes each time. So, yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. And I'll see you guys. It will be Monday evening for me. I think the game's Monday morning my time. So, I have work as well. So, it'll be Monday evening for me. Hopefully, it'll be a good video. But we'll have to wait and see. Touch wood. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Obviously, after the Olympics game, Mexico take on South Korea. I almost forgot that. And there's so many games to think about. Yeah, Mexico take on South Korea next game and tomorrow. So around about this time tomorrow, ish, I'll be back to talk about that, and then I'll be back on Monday evening for the Mexico versus US men's national team final. Plenty to keep us going for a while. So I hope you guys enjoying it. Lots of Mexico content at the moment, which I'm loving. I hope you guys enjoying it, like I said, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.